Okie. Ita Mixkanatani. Good morning. It is about 7:45 in the AM on Tuesday, the 17th of October 2023. In the lunar cycle Itaut stoy when cold arrives. And it's not too bad this morning, temperature wise. 10 degrees Celsius, a little bit of wind. I'm on my way to the north side. I have a dog named Teddy over there that I have to walk this week twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And so I'm going to take care of that first thing, and then we'll see what else transpires today. I've got a few new traps set up out there and everything, so you never know. We could get a raccoon, we could get a skunk. Yesterday, actually, I was at Burton Gord Sports, and unfortunately I didn't have my cameras with me. There was a raccoon that had dropped through the ceiling and was inside the store, and I was chasing it around with the catch stick, but it eventually climbed back up into the ceiling. And so I put a trap out on the roof, and we might get a raccoon up there, who knows. But yeah, I figured I'd get the video started for today, see if anything transpires, and we'll go from there. First job up is Teddy, walking Teddy. This is Teddy. Teddy is a fast walker, and he's prone to pulling off his leash and running away. So make sure that doesn't happen on these walks, of course, but that's what they're very scared of. And of course that's my ministry, always too. But so far so good. I did his first walk last night. This is his second walk today. Twice a day for the next week. Out on the north end. Dawn and dusk. I don't know if these are redwings. What we got going on here? All these birds. I think they're redwings. Don't have time to stop. Teddy's pulling me. But we'll be back on the other side of the lake soon. Just gotta move around. Couldn't help but stop off at the pond. Wish I had my telescoping camera with me. I just got my iPhone, but some of these ducks in here are widgeons, American widgeons, which is pretty much the last waterfowl that I always see migration wise coming through the pond here. Pretty sure those were red-winged blackbirds along that dog walk. Obviously they're all in big flocks, and they'll get much bigger here very soon. In fact, I'm surprised they're not even already in much larger flocks, but getting ready to take off. Let's go look at the beaver's food cache. And here it is. Food cache is getting pretty big. Mostly reeds, and that's usually what they pull here. Surprisingly enough. I mean, they usually have a diversity of plants in there, but the majority of it tends to be bulrush stems. Very different than the food caches along the river that are almost all willow and poplar and such. Suppose we should go see what the goose squabbling is down at the wide south pool. Well, nothing too special going on over here. Mix of mallards and geese and yellow legs. You can see the yellow legs right there, kind of walking around looking for stuff in the shallow. Yeah, all of this water is really low for going into winter. It typically comes up a little bit more than this before the ice, but I think we're gonna get ice next week, perhaps. And the pond is the first thing to freeze, like way before the river. The pond gets pretty frozen because it's in the shadow of the coulee. Oh. I should have brought my other camera because there's some smaller ducks out there. I suspect they're widgeons, but I'd like to have been able to get a closer look. Oh well. All right, loop around and head toward home. Looks like we got some rain coming in for the afternoon. Lots of heavy cumulus clouds have been brought in and just piling up here, looking dark, foreboding. Yeah, gonna head to the house and see what's up over there. Yeah, sure enough, the rain has come. I'm back home. Been home for maybe a half hour or so. It's quiet at the house right now. I think both of my tenant roommates are at work and at school. Work and/or school. And while I was out walking the dog, Chris came and pulled in, and so she got off of a 12-hour shift in McGrath. She does healthcare aide work, and she works nights, so long shifts. So she got off her shift. She's sleeping upstairs. The dogs are with her. I only got my two dogs right now. Taylor, the Rottweiler that you seen in the mountain video the other day, she's home for a couple of days. She does 5 days on with me and then 2 days off, and 5 days on, 2 days off. So, any case, I'm gonna do a little bit of, I got two things to do today. I need to catch up my 2022 taxes because talking to the lawyers about settling the issue with Mahoney about her loan, you know, trying to put this $45,000 loan on me for taking this house when it's her personal loan that had nothing to do with this house, you know. So I have to go to court with her again for that, and actually they're going to try to wrap it in the end of our divorce paperwork because we never finalized our divorce, even though we went to court and pretty much settled and stuff. It didn't all get signed off and finished, so, which is a good thing because it means we can go back in front of a judge and say, hey, what about this loan thing, you know. So but I need to, in order to do that, at the next step they need my tax assessments from 2022, and I didn't do my 2022 taxes yet, so I'm going to do those today. That's one of my goals. That's my serious kind of project goal. And then my art goal for today is I want to cut and put, the sticks along the back of this box lid. I've already kind of glazed the top of the box lid, but I need to take my Dremel tool once I got the sticks done and kind of make sure everything's nice and even on the edges and stuff. And then resin along the edges. I'm going to do some resin edges today. Probably some more resin on this smudge box, which is pretty much done now. It just needs the resining. I got resin on one side, two sides, and inside. I've got to get these other end pieces done, the ends on the inside done, and the top all sealed off. But you have to do it in stages, hey? Like today I'll probably pour resin in here and on here, and then I gotta let that dry for a day, then flip it over and pour resin there and there, see what I mean? So that box I'm still working on. Since I'll be pouring resin, I'm not gonna do anything on this porcupine box, I don't think. Except I do want to continue putting the red, where I was trying that red across. I think the red looks better than the white porcupine quills right here in terms of just creating a neat color contrast. So I'm gonna strip these porcupine quills off of here and put red. So yeah, I got some art stuff to do and some tack stuff to do since it's such a rainy day. By the way, I do want to thank people for the positive comments regarding Chris on the mountain videos. I know that a lot of you were not really impressed with my relationship with Brittany and are more happy to see me with somebody who's maybe a little bit more like me. So yeah, that relation, like Chris and I, we met while Chelsea and I were together, and we met through, it was actually kind of a bit of a weird thing, like Chelsea and I used to kind of play with some other couples and stuff online, and Chris's boyfriend basically pulled her into some of that online play with us, and that's how I met Chris. And then and then she eventually broke up with that guy that she was with, and when Britt and I broke up last December, I spent some time, during that breakup, starting to get to know Chris. And then I went back into the relationship with Britt. I was watching Seinfeld. I've been, on the nights when I'm just here alone, even when I'm not, like there's something now that I've just kind of got used to having some background noise when I'm sleeping. It didn't used to be that way. I always wanted just absolute silence and stuff. But I think living with Britt and the way she would, stay up all night playing video games and stuff, which I didn't mind, because she could just sit on the edge of the bed and I could lay behind her, and I didn't mind, and she'd play her games. And anyway, so I got used to having, that kind of noise in the background, I think, when I'm sleeping now, and so it's almost like a comfort thing, like they do for dogs, like separation anxiety thing. That's what I need. I have to play the TV so I don't have separation anxiety when I'm having, especially nights here alone, so I've just recently, I've been just streaming Seinfeld off of Netflix, because it's just funny stuff to play in the background, and there's so many seasons of it that it doesn't turn off, and it can just play all night. And I heard Seinfeld in one of the episodes talking about breakups, you know, and he was saying you can't really just break up like a relationship like that. Hey, a breakup is like trying to tip over a pop machine. You know, you got to rock it back and forth and back and forth. You know, you gotta go in and out of it a little bit before you finally tip it over. So anyway, yeah, when Britt and I were broken up in December on one of those tips, I spent time with Chris and then went back into the relationship with Britt, and now it's tipped again, and it seems to have tipped over, you know. So I'm spending quite a bit of time with Chris, and just seeing how it develops. She does seem like really a good choice for me. You know, she's more my age. She's 39, going to be turning 40 next month, and she works. She's a healthcare aide. She has her own transportation. She speaks some Blackfoot and is interested in speaking more Blackfoot. She likes to hike. She has a background in environmental sciences. She's participated in loon studies and bison reintroductions in Montana. She really likes, you know, the outdoors, and she really likes Blackfoot culture. She's what else can I say about her? She's a nice girl so far. I was kind of joking about it with one of my friends the other day. I was saying, you know, when you first get in to meet somebody, you gotta kind of like, you know, I don't want to rush into a relationship. Hey, I don't really know Chris yet. I gotta get to know her. And I'm still, you know, just barely, like, I've still got, what did Jada call it? Entanglements? I still feel strongly entangled with my past relationships, especially Brittany, and so I don't think it's fair for me to get into a committed relationship until that entanglement sense is over, you know. But I don't want to lose the opportunity to be with somebody that seems to be really good for me, or at least to explore that. So that's what I'm doing, and we're spending lots of time together, and it's going well. So thanks for the positive feedback, and I'm sure you'll see the progress on what goes on there. You know, as far as wishing me that, you know, this is the one, and hope there's no more whatever girlfriends. You know, like I say, we're just seeing how this goes. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you my joke. I was telling my friend, because you're trying to get to know somebody, you know, like I'm trying to get to know Chris. But one of the things that I really want to know about her is what happens when she gets really, really mad. because that's one of the hardest things to deal with in the relationship, is how you negotiate the fights. Hey, and so I was telling my friend, I gotta figure out a way to really make this girl mad at some point, so I can find out what she's like when she's fighting in the relationship. But of course, I'm not gonna do that. It could take a long time. Chelsea and I, when we were together, we didn't have even an argument at all for the first 2 years of the relationship. It wasn't until we were almost breaking up that we ever even butted heads at all. So it can take a long time, if I'm with a decent person, to draw a fight out of them. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work here, and we'll see how the day progresses. It is now approaching 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My taxes are about halfway done. I've got a little bit of work done on the boxes, and I added some housework and some exercise so I could get my points for salubrious indulgence. So I've been doing 5-minute rounds, just playing around on this bag a little bit. I'm not taking it too seriously, but I gotta, like I was saying in my previous video, I gotta relearn the right hand as a palm and an elbow. Finger jabs also work pretty good. Anybody that's actually watched fights will know that fights stop, in the UFC and such, and they got to take a time out when somebody's finger jabbed in the eyes, because it's not a good thing. But yeah, anyway, I've been doing 5-minute rounds with this bag, 3-minute rounds with the heavy bag. I've been doing some push-ups, doing some dumbbell curls, of course military presses, some squats, and the power bar. I love the power bar. Get a 60 kilogram power bar in there. Give it some squeezes. So yeah, I also swept the house, mopped it, and moved my one roommate's big couch downstairs. When she moved in, she wasn't able, her uncle had helped her move it in, wasn't able to get it down the stairs for her. But what needed to happen is I need to take off the feet and take off one of the doors that it had to go through to get down there. And it fit, just barely. It's not going to be easy to get it back up when she moves away. But don't got to worry about that for a while. Anyway, the day is going. I was going to go set up a badger trap, but the client says it's too muddy to go out there and show me where the issue is because of the rain. So she wants me to come tomorrow, and that's fine. So all I got left for actual paid work today is going to be walking that same teddy dog this evening. Which is not much work. Between the two walks, I've only made $40 today. Oh, it's the end of my 5 minutes. Just about 7 o'clock in the evening now, and I'm back on the north side to pick up Teddy to do our walk, our evening walk. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making a lot of money on this one. Each of these walks is $20, but I have to drive clear across town to get here. So I kind of priced it like that, hoping I'd stack a bunch of dogs, but so it would be cost efficient moving around town. But since I don't have a stack of dogs to walk as yet, I don't know how it weighs out. Any case, Let's go pick him up. Chris went to work, so won't see her tonight. This is the end of my evening, basically.